Okay. Okay. All this so is what the Cold War. Okay, Cold War. Okay, so Cold War means it is a war-like situation between USSR and the USA. It started after the Second World War. After the Second World War. Okay. So who is big? Okay, so Russia said I am big. Okay, US said I am big. So this situation is known as a Cold War, a war-like situation. A war-like situation. Arms race. That means they'll be creating missiles. Okay, a lot of different types of missiles and this weapons and all. The space. Okay, space. USSR came with the manned mission. Okay, they sent a man to the space. Okay, can you tell me? We are also planning to send a man to the space. What is the name of that mission? What is the name of the mission?
Gaganyaan.
Gaganyaan. Very good. Gaganyaan. Write down this. Gaganyaan. Okay, India is also sending man to the space. Okay, so already it was done by the Russia first. Then USA did this. Then to come to climax of this, USA sent men to the moon. Okay, that is the only and the last time when we sent some people to the moon. After that, nobody sent. And there's a lot of question. Really, people went to moon. Also, there's a question, controversies and all there. Okay. So the Cold War means this is the thing, a war-like situation between the USSR and the USA just after the Second World War was over. Okay. In that, a lot of parties were created. NATO was created. NATO means the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. CETO was created. Okay. Then Baghdad Pact. Okay. Baghdad Pact was created. Okay. So all this CENTO, I think it's not CETO, okay, CENTO, all this were created, lines were created. During this period itself, okay, we had another thing happening, led by three people. One is Dennis Tito. Dennis Tito. Then person was Nasser. Okay, NASSC, Nasser. Then we had our Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, these three people came together and they said that no, we are not going to be a part of this one. We'll separate ourselves. Okay, we are not going to be a part of the this any of these alliance data or whatever it is. Okay, we will be creating something called non-alignment movement. Okay, so non-alignment movement is a product of Cold War, you can say. Okay, saying that we are not part of the USSR or not we are part of the USA. So that kind of this one, a neutral stand was created by 160 country plus. Okay, it was done by Egypt. Okay, and that is this is Yugoslavia. Okay, this is Egypt. This is India. Okay, so these people came. Look, so what is that? Before going to article, what you should know? What you should know? What is Cold War? The Cold War is a war-like situation between the USA and the USSR because both were asking who is bigger power in the world. So we can say the world was bipolar. Right in this word, the world was bipolar. That means one pole is this one, the other pole. So the entire world was divided into two. Either you are with USA or you are with the USSR. Okay. So like this, there was competition between them, a war-like situation. Okay, war-like situation between the two superpower. Okay, and ultimately it came to an end in 1991 with the collapse of USSR. USSR collapsed. With the collapse of USSR, okay, it comes to an end. That means when I say collapse of USSR, USSR broke into different pieces, different countries: Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, Estonia, Latvia. Okay, all this is Azerbaijan. All this is was once part of the USSR. Okay, that is how it comes to an end. From there, it became Russia, and Russia is now not a very superpower as such of USA. It is one of a major power. That's it. Okay. So arms race were there. Who is building more missiles? Okay. Then space, who is sending more to the space? Again, NATO, CENTO, all this way. Hello. Sorry, I got a call in between. That is one excuse you have to do me, because we cannot miss the calls also. Yeah, so how many have understood this concept, like Cold War and coming to an end of the Cold War, and what was the response of India and the major countries of that era is the creation of NAM. Clear? Who can concise this? Sajda is there. Akshaya, can you concise what I have told you in the board? Deepika, come on, yeah, say something. Is it, what is it? No news at all. Who can tell me what is in the board? What is Cold War? What is the response of this? Yes, Sona, come on.
So shall I?
Yes, please come.
Yeah, so after the Second World War, there was a Cold War between USSR and USA. Like it was like the world was divided into a bipolar world, and it was like a capitalist and a communist in world, and they were having competition between them, like the arms race and regarding the space matters, and they created two organizations called NATO and CENTO, and they wanted all the countries to be on their side. And at that time, India came up with the policy of non-alliance movement, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, and along with him, Nasser and Denis Tito also came up with the NAM. And another thing is that, like in space matters, like USSR sent a space mission to space, I mean man mission to space, and USA sent a mission to moon, and the man mission to space by India is called Gaganyaan. And this all ended in the year 1991 when the USSR was disintegrated and it was divided into many other countries, and the successor of USSR is Russia.
Okay, so that's about them. Before this, what we have to understand. So the person is saying, am I audible, guys? Yeah, the multilateralism. What do you mean by the word multilateralism? Multilateralism means it's the organization where almost all the world countries are there. For example, UN is a multilateralism. WTO is a multilateralism. World Health Organization. What about SAARC? Is it multilateralism? SAARC or G7, G20? Hello. This is the problem, yeah. This is the problem with the online coaching as such. Okay. I ask question, nobody response करते हो, आप लोग नहीं करते हो, कुछ भी नहीं.
It is not.
Huh? Yeah, this G7 SAARC and all not multilateralism. That is a regional forums. They don't come under the concept of multilateralism. The moment I say multilateralism, it is almost world body. Okay. For example, IMF is there, World Bank is there. Those are known as multilateralism. Okay. So this one, the article's heading is multilateralism in the new Cold War. It means the Cold War is a new Cold War is there. Now I think he's referring to the China war against the other countries, not only with the US. All the other countries, they are creating a war. They're creating problem for all the countries. Okay, so that is the thing, and this is in this. What is the importance of multilateralism? What they will do? In fact, you know that there was a kind of League of Nations. Write down this word, League of Nations. League of Nations is the first multilateralism created in the world. That was to prevent the Second World War. Okay, but it failed, and the Second World War happened, isn't it? Like this, after Second World War, we had created United Nations. Okay, so to some extent they are okay, they are successful. Okay, now because of, in fact, they during the Cold War also they could not take any kind of response. Okay, all these are there. Okay, so let us see. In this, he is saying that India can set a world response, also using the opportunity to recover its global thought leadership. Clear. That is what this is. The editorials is about. Okay, now let us go into it. In the new Cold War, defined by technology and trade, not territory. Write down this word. The new, is it visible? Is it visible, guys? Is it okay? This kind of font. This font is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, in the new Cold War, that means it's a new Cold War. So it is not in the old Cold War. What happened? Arms race happened. Okay, arms race happened. There was a space race and all. I was telling you. Then alliance. Now, plus the present new Cold War is defined by the technology and the trade. Okay, technology. Okay, you might have that. All this cyber war, all this. Okay, artificial intelligence. It's on fourth industrial revolution discussed about it. Okay, then comes a trade. Okay, economic power. We'll stop the imports from other country. Okay, like this and all, or we will stop our important strategic export. All this. So trade and the technology are the new weapons of the new Cold War, not the territory. Non-alignment movement is an uncertain option. So we can say that non-alignment. I told you in the previous Cold War, non-alignment movement was a response, and it stopped the Third World War. They'll be just jumping and they're saying that we stopped the Third World War. Maybe, okay, but today the relevance of the non-alignment movement itself is questioned, whether they are able to live to the expense. Are they taking any stand in the international arena? That is nothing. Okay, but still, recently, that means in the month of May itself, there was a virtual meeting, video conferencing of the NAM, and our Prime Minister attended that over the video. Okay. Then comes what has happened in the past. Britain actually had a very large military, particularly because of the revenue they had from the Bengal, and they occupied the India and the entire subcontinent. And USA was very successful in creating the this one, splitting in communist bloc. That means USSR split into different countries. No, that is because of the US also. Somebody say, okay. And China has become very dominant now. Okay, and it ended in the China becoming a dominant country today. So now, if you say in the world is bipolar, okay, that is not true, because Russia is anyway, USSR is not there. Okay, has become unipolar. That is also not true, because a lot of countries like China, India, Brazil, Germany, Japan, all these countries are having their own influence in the economy. US is not as powerful as it was. So there's a decline of the US. We can say they are vacating their position from multilateralism. Right in this, US is vacating their position from the multilateralism. Okay, so in this paragraph, they are saying that India is having an opportunity here, because India is going to head many of the organizations. Okay, one is they are going to become an UN Security Council non-permanent seat. Okay, write down UN Security Council. India has got a biggest ambition. Okay, the biggest ambition of India is to get a UNSC permanent membership. Okay, permanent membership, that is the biggest option. What is UNSC? UN, United Nations, under that a very high decision-making body is there, United Nations Security Council, UNSC. It's the highest decision-making. Its decisions are binding on the UN. Okay, now it has total of 15 members. Total of 15 members, out of which 10 members are non-permanent. Means they're elected on the yearly basis, once in 2 years, non-permanent. 5 members are known as permanent. Okay, popularly we call it the P5. These 5 members have got a veto power. Veto power, they can block anything, they can stop anything. They can block and they can stop anything. Okay, whereas this do not have non-permanent. So India is going to become a lot of time. India has been there in the UNSC as a non-permanent member. So that is one opportunity. So India has got one opportunity to get into an UNSC as a non-permanent. It is not a new thing. Always India have been there itself. Okay, that is second thing. Then India is going to chair G20. Okay, G20 India is going to chair, and that means India is getting opportunities. So no, okay. Then India is going to chair the BRICS also. Write down BRICS. India is going to BRICS also. Okay. Then what they are saying? India joins the UNESCO. BRICS hosts the G7. India is going to host the G20. Okay. Now these are our information perspective. We need to understand what is these organizations all about. Okay. You should know minimum. We should know who are the members of this. Okay. So this 10 members you need not remember. Okay. But the 5 members you have to remember. Yeah. Anybody can tell me who are the 5 members of the UNSC permanent members?
One is US.
Yeah. US.
Russia. China.
It should be China. China. It's not a question. It's a statement.
Yeah. Then.
Okay. I broke the rhythm. Go ahead. Yes. USA, Russia, China. This is something which I am developing for the interview. See, when you go to the interview, they're asking question. China, Russia, China, sir. Sir. Quick. Anybody else?
Is it Japan?
Again, it not is it? Is it Japan? No, it's not Japan. Yes, Joel is saying France and UK.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, France and UK are the other thing. France and fifth one is UK. Never forget this. Okay, it is very easy question. I don't think they'll ask this as such. Okay, but still we should know when you're talking about foreign affairs and all. So this is about this one. So India's biggest foreign policy aim is to become a member of this, one among them. Okay, either by expanding it or replacing China, whatever. Now coming to, so this is I done. Okay, G20. Right on, G20 is a group of 20 countries. Okay, group of 20 countries. Yeah, who can tell me who are the 20 countries? It is developed countries. The 7 countries, which is G7 plus developing countries, are the members. Yeah, can you see my? I told you yesterday that we are in a hotspot, our Tevra, where I am located, in the same block. One pilot has got a COVID-19. She was one of the pilots coming from Gulf. She was asked to be in quarantine, but she didn't. Okay, she went to all the market where I used to go. Yeah, you guys are here. You are able to see Wikipedia. I'm showing a map. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so this is G20 map. G20 map. So this, what color is it? Blue color or purple color? What is the color? This color is a G20 color, and the other one is a guest people. Okay. Yeah. So here it is. I'm writing the names. You also please write down. First one is it is Canada. Okay, Canada. Okay, this is USA, Mexico. This is Brazil, Argentina, okay, South Africa, Australia, okay, Indonesia. Okay, in the morning I didn't get 20. This time just check whether we are getting 20. Okay, Saudi Arabia. Okay, of course, India, China, Russia. Russia, Japan. Please note down, very, very important. Okay, this is the easiest question they can ask in the exam. Okay, South Korea, Okay, then we have got Turkey. Then you got Italy. Then you got France, Germany, and UK. Okay, guys. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wow, this time I'm correct. Okay. So to 19 others, even though I say G20, it is a 19 plus one European Union. So that is what this one G20. G20 has got 19 countries and the one European Union organization. Together known as G20. Have you got it? Yes. Copied. You want this image? I will send you this image. Okay. So you should know the art of learning. Okay, not just memory part. Okay, if you learn by this method of map, then it's very easy to learn. Okay, G20. Okay, so India is a part of this. This is a organization having a group of people who are the developed nation like USA, Canada, and all. Part of in this, if you want a G7, write down G7. Among this, G7 is okay. G7 is these countries are G7. One is USA. Okay, 2 Canada. 3 UK. 4 France. Okay, 5 Italy. Okay. Okay, don't ask me, sir. Italy is a developed country. It is a rich country. Okay, then you got Japan also in this. Then 7th country is Australia. Okay, what happened? Australia. Okay, these are the G7 countries. Okay, in fact, G7 was originally known as G8. Okay, G8. Okay, now Russia was thrown out of it. Okay, because of some issues. I think they how they treated Crimea or Ukraine. Some cases, or they involved in the U.S. election. Some for some reason they have been removed. Okay, but now the Trump is saying that Russia should be part of the G7. We should include India also. Okay, he's trying to create G7 as a whole against China. Okay, he did not mention that China should be part of G7, but he said India should be there, South Korea should be there. Okay, then he said Russia should be there. Okay, so that is the today's news, and he has invited Trump has invited Modi to come to attend the G7 summit also. We'll see that what is going to happen. It's a developing story. So there'll be an article separately on this. We'll see that later. So is it clear? Shall we go to the next part? Why, Mano? Joel, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Great. Yeah. So G7 we have seen, G20 we have seen. Okay. Now let us go back to the editorial. What is they saying? So they are saying that we are going to become a chair. We are going to become a head of these institutions. Okay. And what about the NAM? Okay, NAM is irrelevant. I told you it is not a big option. But Modi is trying to bring some kind of energy by using these words. Okay, Modi is very good in praising the new words, right? Look at these words. What he's saying. Okay, he's saying we'll bring humanity, we'll bring fairness, okay, and we'll bring equality. Okay, these things will be placed in the NAM. That means you can say NAM plus. They're using the word NAM plus. Okay, which is the new world order. We can say that means it will be more making NAM more relevant, because NAM is actually dysfunctional. It is not happening. People don't regularly meet on it. Okay. So thereby it has not, because it was not relevant also. After the break of the Russia, the world was never a bipolar world, or there's a need for a neutral organization was felt. Okay. Now, when we talk about India's leadership, we are saying that India is a very great country in the past. Again, how we are reinventing ourselves. We invented zero, Ayurveda is there, Buddhism is there, Yoga is there, Ahimsa is there, Nalanda University was there. So all these are trying to bring the greatness in India. Okay, so multilateralism is going to collapse again, or we are the leader of the multilateralism. In addition to that, India has got an opportunity to lead the world in the new Cold War era. Okay, that's what the article is trying to say. Okay. Then comes World Health Organization. Okay, and the World Health Organization is one example. Where, not one example. WTO is already collapsed. WTO, nobody cares about WTO. Okay, because that is not possible to implement any agreement for them, so it has collapsed. After that, now we are seeing World Health Organization, uh, US is withdrawing, saying that we are not going to give you money. Okay, so that is one, and this one is very important. This, as from Trump himself has said, this that G7 is becoming outdated. Okay, that's what I said. He wants India's participation into. So India is getting into the G7 will be a very very big movement for India, because G7 was a elite group of rich nations. Okay, and if at all we are getting into G7, okay, I told you it can be becoming an organization against China. Okay, because China will not be invited. Okay, so that is the thing. So it's G7 to discuss the future of China is another upcoming news item. Okay, so far what we are seeing that India is going to become a chair or heading the major multilateral organization. We are seeing, okay. Then we are seeing that India has got opportunity. It's a very great nation. It has yoga, it has ahimsa, it has Nalanda University. Okay, and most important, see, biggest when you talk about India being a natural leader, the first thing you have to talk about is India's democracy, the largest democracy. Okay, that is one thing, and it is India's population. India represents 1/6 of the world population. Okay. 1/6 or 1/7 of the world population. So thereby, India should be having, okay, and plurality, diversity. All these are other things you can add. Okay. So it always talk about India's democracy as being one of the important factor for leading the world. Okay. Then socio-economic issues, we have seen that racism happening in USA. Okay, that is one problem, and in which we said that if anybody is bringing a vaccine, okay, it should be available to everybody. Okay, it should be made as a common property. There should not be any kind of this one. What is that? That you have no monopoly on the patent issues and all. That we should not have. Okay, that is also that who's saying China themselves saying. Okay. Then we have seen this technology, innovation, trade. Okay, these are the tools of China. Okay, China is not comparable to the military power of the USA. Okay, so in fact today nobody can compare the USA. They have unlimited resources. Okay, they have what do you say? Military might is very huge. Okay, so nobody can bring down USA militarily. But technology wise or trade wise, definitely we can do. That is what China is doing. Okay. So China is balancing the USA in the terms of trade and innovation and technology. Okay, now write down. This is Asia. The era of Asia has come. Okay, a lot of time we have seen that this millennium is Asia's millennium. That people will be saying. Okay, why? Because the two country which is there in along with Japan also, China, India, and Japan. Okay, this country is having a bigger share in the world economic trade, or can say economy. So that way you can say it's a year of Asia is coming, okay, and that has accelerated in the pandemic, because the pandemic has affected the Western countries more than the Asian countries. Hit the point, yes. Okay. So in fact, one editorial we have seen, okay, that changing dynamics due to pandemic. Okay, what is dynamic changes? The US, okay, all the major powers, all the European powers, all are. One second, yeah, 1 second, I'll come. right on this, including India and many countries. We have successfully have come out of the Western dominated multilateralism. Like, or we have found an alternative for this. Okay, we have found an alternative. That means non-coercive form. That means we're not going fighting with them. Okay, see what happens if you see somebody is powerful and you cannot compete with them immediately. What happens? You come out and you do something else. Okay, you don't go and fight them. You understand that you cannot win. Okay, you come out of it. Then you try to improve your strength and all that. So the same thing. The US is dominating all the multilateralism. We talk about IMF, we talk about World Bank, we talk about World Trade Organization. Everywhere US, what they decide, that is what the policy of these organizations have been. Okay. So now what we are doing is unmute. It's unmuted only. Is it like you guys missed it? I started with non-coercive form. Okay, I was saying that US, China and all, US has dominated many of the multilateralism and we found an alternative for it. Okay. Was that here to everybody? Okay, so what China is doing is they are trying to find out alternative. I'll tell you the name of the alternative. Write down this. Okay, write down this. Okay, one is NDB. Okay, NDB might be. I'm okay, NDB. Second one is CRA. NDB stands for New Developmental Bank. BELEOP. What is development spelling? Yeah, Development Bank. Okay, CRA, Contingency Reserve Arrangement. Okay, this is alter ego of you can say World Bank. World Bank another alternative. This is for IMF alternative. Okay, so if you have a foreign exchange reserve currency crisis, then you have to go to IMF. But now no, you can go to the CRA. It is created by the BRICS country. Okay, what is BRICS? BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries are regarded to be the emerging economies. Right on this word, emerging economies. Emerging economies. These are very powerful countries. They contribute around 40% of the world GDP. Okay, so that is why these are very powerful countries, okay, in terms of economy. So they have formed a separate forum called BRICS. Okay, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, so this is there. They have contributed. So these countries have come forward. They said we'll create some alternative to the world bodies. They created NDB. They created CRA. Okay. Likewise, we have currency swap. Right on currency swap agreement with many countries, including Japan. So in case of any currency is problem, we can go and do the currency swapping. That is also possible today. So IMF has become irrelevant today. IMF has become irrelevant today. Manslayo Bayamano. Yeah, what I was saying that we have found an alternative for each of this. Okay, so what is alternative? New example. Okay, New Development Bank. New Development Bank is an alternative to World Bank. Okay, CRA, Contingency Reserve Arrangement, is an alternative to IMF. Then comes BRICS. Okay, BRICS are the people who created these two things. Okay, then currency swap agreement is there for the Japan. So any kind of, we are not in a situation in 1991. 1991, we did not have any option but to go to IMF and take the loan from them and the harsh measures, and we paid it back also. So now we have a lot of options. Okay, that is one thing. And in fact, WTO itself failed. I told you, WTO itself has failed. And for WTO, we have a lot of other mechanisms. RCEP is there. RCEP is there. Then TPP is there. Okay. Then a lot of other regional forums are there. Okay, RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Forum, Economic Partnership, Trans-Pacific Partnership. Please write down, guys. Regional Cooperation, okay, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, okay, TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership. These are the free trade agreements. See, in fact, WTO is trying to create a free trade agreement, but these people are going and they're creating their own free trade agreement. So that is why WTO has become irrelevant. Okay. So situation is like this. Okay, that all this organization has become irrelevant, or it has some alternative also. Clear, guys? Okay, that's what they are saying in this entire paragraph. Okay, you are saying. Okay, then you can see. Then protectionism is there. US is saying that I'll protect my market. Okay, and then they're saying new P5. I already told you. Okay, we're going to create this one. Naresh.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this is an underground. India is not a member of this organization. Anyway, write down this. Naresh. Naresh, kal sada baga sada. Kal sada depo. Okay, this organization is also important. India is not a member of this ASEAN, okay, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Okay, in this India is not a member. Okay, but write down this. Try to find out 10 countries are there in that 10 countries. Okay, they are the main creator of the RCEP, okay, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. That is ASEAN plus 6 other countries. India was supposed to be one, but India did not join now. Okay. Okay. Then this is a comparison, like China did not waste any single penny on the war. Okay, they did not waste any war. That is what they are trying. Then new security relies on this is very important. Write down this. So now present security parameters are not with the bombs and all. Okay, this is an artificial intelligence, technological superiority. Okay, technological superiority, cyberspace, cyber and the space are the new. You remember we had something called ASAT. Anybody remember this ASAT? In the morning, I could not remember this. ASAT. What is ASAT? Mission Shakti. Yes, this name I used in the morning. Yeah, write down, guys. We have demonstrated to the world that we can kill the live satellite in the space from the space in the same space. From here, we launch a missile. It will go and kill it, and it will be destroyed. Okay, that is known as Mission Shakti. Mission Shakti. India is very few country in the world which could do this. Okay, Mission Shakti. That satellite is known as ASAT, anti-satellite missile. Okay, anti-satellite weapon launch missile. Are you guys there in the class? Artificial intelligence. Okay. From next week onwards, we'll make sure that everybody is switching on the video. Okay, I'll take class only when I see your face. Otherwise, I'll not take the class. Okay. This will follow Veena Madam's rule. Okay, guys. Next week, we can start from tomorrow also. Yeah, this is another thing, like how the economics are getting globalized in the world. Listen to this. This one. China is highly state-centric. Okay. US is highly firm-centric. India is mostly public-centric. Okay, that means that is kind of communism in China, kind of capitalism here. And India has got a mixed model, you can say. And this is public-centric, that is people-centric. People-centric. Okay. Understood, guys? Instead of massive arms imports, we should use the saving of to enhance the endogenous capacity and mold the global digital economy between the this one. Then comes the intellectual property rights should be abolished. This article is saying that we should abolish the intellectual property rights. We are creating unnecessary monopoly. Okay, we should create technologies for the welfare of the people. Okay, for example, let us open source are there, that and all we should demonstrate. Okay. At the end of this article, okay, always as usual, this is a word you can always use in your article. That is sustainable development. Sustainable development. That means there should be equitable sustainable development. There should be the limited usage of resources. We should keep certain resources for the future as well. Okay, for the future generation, we should have certain resources. Okay, that is known as sustainable development. Clear, guys? Yeah. Anybody want to summarize this entire article? Akshaya, start with Akshaya. Who can do this? Yeah, tell me, Joy. What is the doubt?
So can you explain me the RCEP and TPP one more time? I didn't understand that.
RCEP and TPP are the free trade agreements. between these countries, like here around 16 countries are there. Okay, here around 10 countries are there. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so among this country, the free trade will be free. There will not be any tariff. There will not be any duty. Okay. So that is a free trade agreement. It was one of the aim of the WTO. WTO wanted to create a kind of world free of any trade barrier. They wanted to make the trade is across the countries it is free. Okay. But they could not achieve this. Okay. So, but regionally, some of the countries are coming together and they are forming their own trading forum. Okay. One among them is RCEP. RCEP is a combination of ASEAN. 10 countries are there. Plus, India was supposed to join, but now India is not showing interest. Okay. Then China is joining. Okay. Then you got South Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. These are the countries coming together, and they are saying that we will have a free trade agreement, that is a RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Likewise, Trans-Pacific Partnership between US, but US also with Mexico, Canada, then some South American countries. Australia and New Zealand is also present here. Okay, so basically it's a free trade agreement. That's what you have to understand. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you summarize the entire article, Joel, from the beginning? क्या हुआ? What happened? Army commander, tell me. Yeah, he don't give one point. Yeah, tell me, Joel. Very good.
Sir, after World War, like from the beginning, right?
Yes.
Sir, after World War II, there was like Cold War, like which was not actually a war, but it was like on the brink of like it was about to be a war between USSR and USA. So like the war was against the arms in space, basically. So like the USSR was the first like to send like man to space, and then it was followed up by USA. Then like NATO was introduced. Like it was a North Atlantic Treaty Organization between 30 like North American and European countries. And then the Gaganyaan is India's first manned mission, which ISRO aims to launch by December 2021. Then like NAM was introduced, which was a non-alignment movement by 160 countries. Like it was it was against it was against the like.
That's it is a neutral organization which don't want to join any of the military bloc. They remain neutral, and thereby they averted the Third World War, is what's saying. Coming into the article, come into the article. What are details of the article?
It was the UNSC that what?
Yeah, UNSC. Okay. India is going to become member of UNSC. India is going to chair the G20, BRICS. So all these are giving an opportunity, and India could be a leader among all these organizations. So why India could be a leader? Because it has got a lot of historical greatness. You can say Ahimsa is there, Buddhism is there, yoga is there, democracy, that all you can add. So when this is happening, US is withdrawing from the many multilateralism. They are coming out of it. They already have come out of UNESCO, World Health Organization, Paris Agreement. In UN also they're coming out, somebody is saying it. Okay. So all these are, they're going to come out. So there should be a vacuum created that will be filled by India. Why China cannot fill this? China has a different ambition. They are not having a acceptability among the countries. Okay. So India is being accepted more. And then they are comparing like what is the new Cold War is all about. New Cold War is all about technology and the trade. It is not about military and all. Okay. Innovations are important. That's what China is coming big. Then we are talking about a lot of multilateralism. We can't found an alternative. Like in the IMF, we have got CRA. For World Bank, we have got NDB. Then World Trade Organization, we got RCP and TPP. Like this, a lot of alternatives are there. So there were new world war is new world. What is a new world order is getting created? A new PF that means permanent 5 can come. Like this, new things will come. All this they are saying that India will be leading. Okay. At the end, he is talking about sustainable development. Okay, and he also talking about different concept of economy. India is a public-centric economy, that is people-centric, and we will remodel the NAM also in terms of humanity, fairness, and equality. So that's what the article comes. The article is not actually a comprehensive article. It's not a comprehensive article. Here and there, some data is there. Okay. Anyway, so that is our so our takeaway is what is G20 country, what is G7 country, what is BRICS. All this we shall to learn. Okay, guys. So read one more time. Any doubts? Anybody? No? Shall we proceed to the class? Economy? Yeah. Any doubts in the economy class?